Welcome to the second episode with King Arthur with the Llywarch dynasty. In our last episode, we ended off with the birth of Arthur's daughter, Esild, and I think that having his firstborn would have quite a profound impact on Arthur's life. I definitely think that perhaps he would consider now to perhaps switch, not necessarily permanently, but to increase his knowledge so as to improve the lives of his family and the people in his court. So we'll now switch to scholarship focus. The knowledge of those who have come before, the knowledge of those still living, and the knowledge of perpetual truths. I think he would do that. He would educate his daughter. And in addition, I think he would go to his court and look at the children in his court and also ensure that they have the best education as well. So this girl, Frantic, is on the intrigue. So let's arrange for her, and I think we need more knights. So Paran, you are going to go on a martial focus, and Doneth is going to help you out there. And last thing that I am going to do before we press play again is we've been becoming friends with Petty King Alfred, and he's a much stronger neighbor. So, I think what we'll do is that Arthur understands that it is necessary for a political survival in this time in England. But at the same time, we talked about how he holds his family really close to his heart. What we're going to do is we'll select a matrilineal marriage, and luckily Alfred believes that it's a good idea as well. So we'll send that proposal. Okay, and now we have formed our alliance. Now I'm going to stop swaying Alfred now that we are allied, and also I'm going to switch Stuart to promoting development now that we have a pretty good income source. Instead, I think what I'll do is I'll start swaying my wife, because she's been a really good wife for helping me out all these years and for having my firstborn. Okay, I gained a level of devotion, that's good. As nothing much is happening now, let's take a look around the world. So, seems that Al-Andalus has not broken up. Actually, is looking quite intact. So France has broken off with Toulouse, Gascon, and Barcelona, and the Holy Roman Empire has split into Northumbria and Westphalia. Right? It used to be. Oh, and that's Bavaria. So we still have one Carling there. Carling Baden. Also Carling there. But he has lover's pox. The Byzantine and the Abbasids are holding up. Crusader is huge. And Denmark. Oh, we're being raided. Oh no, I skipped too fast. Okay, let's work on our control then. Perils of going on 5 speed, so maybe we should go slower. So Denmark is making inroads into Sweden. Norway hasn't really formed yet. Luckily it wasn't our capital being raided. Otherwise we'd be in big trouble. Sure also would learn from this mistake. Let's see if we can create an accolade. Flame Master. Mm. Tactician seems nice. Stalwart, maybe? Toughness. How about Tactician and Vanguard? But we don't have a lot of levy, so we really have to focus on our men-at-arms. Knight of Dignity. I think it's time for us to create this accolade. The first acclaimed knights. Work well, my knights. Train well. Okay, let's develop our capital. It's a bit stressful, but sometimes it has to be done. Duke Gosbert of Neustria has announced to the world that he and his vassals have converted to Catholicism, having become disillusioned with the teachings of Catholic priests. The nobles of Neustria are no longer considered the clergy to be righteous and true. As Catholics, they believe that new faith properly aligns with the will of God, and they are distancing themselves from former religious institutions. Oh my God, they're really close. What twisted mockery of faith is this? Well, let's hope it doesn't spread over here. Let's do some exercise. We need this. Duke Hugo of Anjou, priest hater. Okay. Our control is back to normal. That's good. We're recovering fast from these raids, which speaks to the resiliency of the Cornish people. Right now, I think we're going to save up for more resources to upgrade our trading port. So let's look at Petra here. Petra is going down the paranoid route and is training for intrigue. Don't really like Petra that much. Alfredson does not like us because we are stinky. Perhaps, no, they would not accept an offer of guardianship. Although I think that Arthur here would be interested in educating more children, now that he is on the scholarship route. And speaking of which, my wife is pregnant again, so I think they have their priorities aligned, and it also makes sense that Arthur is swaying his wife, and she is also finding him a more likable person. New translation. More than anything, my quest to be a learned man is teaching me how much I do not know yet. What more? There must be so much knowledge has been lost to the ages. As books fall apart and languages are forgotten, perhaps I could contribute by making a new translation of one of the classic works. Although what would I even translate? A classic of science, Aristotle's Physica, or studying the heavens through Ptolemy's Almagest. I think Arthur is my scientific guy. Improves glance in a very scientific manner. Step-by-step approach. I'm having the notes of my translation of Physica Elementa read back to me. I snap to a sudden understanding. Scribe, add the following commentary. Unlike scriptures, this work posits that, as evident from the will of God, I think it's unlike scriptures. Right, we are reading a scientific work. While I have come to expect mischief from my daughter and heir Eslet, her creativity has kept me on my toes. Well, when it is not a prank, it's a brawl, a disgruntled tutor, or Grace news from an adventure gone wrong. Never a dull moment. Indeed, I am glad that my child is keeping me on my toes. That's what children are for. Let's look at our culture. So, our culture is dexterous fishermen, storytellers, and ancient mines, quarries. For forest. Oh, and here, with the babe cradled in her arms, pretty Queen Llywarch looks up at me, her face the picture of serenity. Husband dearest, I think we should name her Llywarch after me. What do you say? A lovely idea. It looks exactly like her. Okay. Of course, my dear. a second daughter. Find myself working on a translation of Physica Elementa for hours under the flickering light of the candle. Often I would barely notice time passing. My scribes remind me, however. My lord, it must be past midnight now. Is not time to rest? No, we have to keep going until I feel done. Some sleep will do us good. We can keep working while I rest. Okay, I think Arthur is a man that's like to take quite a hands-on approach, as we've already established, but not unreasonably. So let's head to Beth. Especially, he needs to take care of the children. Train for the tournament. Haven't had much tournaments. A constant effort to translate Physica Elementa is tiring. The relentless focus, understanding, and creativity required drains me. We move ever closer to its completion. Just a few more pages tonight, and then a few more in a minute. I must seclude myself until all other distractions is done, or this book can wait a while. I think that Arthur is not willing to shirk from his responsibilities, especially with his two newborn daughters. But when times allow, he's going to sneak in a few times of work here and there. And look, Betty King, Arthur, I've been corresponding with your Chancellor, Gersid. I must say I've come to see you in a new light. Well, good job, Gersid, because I was pretty angry at you for making Alfred dislike me. Perhaps you're even someone that one day I'll be proud to call my friend. Awesome. Wow, he's at 100 opinion of us now. Look, he has a new daughter, Elswith. Brilliant. I've gotten an idea in my attempts to align Petty Queen Llywarch to my interests. With the right arguments, I may be able to convince her that I'm not merely acting in my own interest, but the interest of the Lord himself. I don't think this sounds like Arthur. He's a person that reads scientific books. I think I should just keep to the diplomatic niceties. My translation of Visca Elemento finally stands complete. My words rest on beautifully illuminated pages, all protected by a lavish cover as befits the work's importance. The tome has taken pride in my place in my library, and every priest who reads it is mightily impressed by my efforts. Some are already speaking of making copies of their book of their own. Well, I'm a very accomplished translator. This effort has taught me so much. Indeed, we spent a long time working on it. And we are going to adopt the scientific trait because, well, isn't that precisely what Aristotle's Physica Elementa has taught us about science? And it seems like we can ask our head of faith to give us some gold. I think we really need this for our people. Greetings, Petty King Arthur. I've considered your plight and decided to grant your request. May these funds help you spread the true faith in your lands. Alright. So if you look at the Pope, Pope Sylvester is a mastermind philosopher, shy, fickle, and forgiving. He actually seems like quite a good pope. House Renzo. Now with the extra money we are able to upgrade another trade port quite soon. Let's work on our stress here. This is not enough, I think to myself as I put down the training mace. I've been practicing non-stop, but I'm not getting tired. I need a tougher challenge. Get something bigger or perhaps heavier. Something sure to tire me out. Oh, Aslet, you want to come play with me? You're rowdy, right? Get over here, let's play. Oh no, I accidentally injured her. I hope my wife helps her. Oh, I feel really guilty. Raiders. Alright, men, it's time to prove yourself in the battle. Yes, our knight killed Seamus. Another successful battle of Devon. Great job, let's look. We only had 85 dead. Look at our knights. Good job. After we upgrade our buildings, we really need to focus on building our men-at-arms. My daughter. So, would I want my daughter to take after me, or to go on her rowdy path? I think perhaps that now that Arthur realizes the danger that he's putting his daughter in by being rowdy, I think he would try to push her to follow his footsteps and study stewardship. In the meantime, we can look for some good matches for our young daughter. Just a quick browse. Oh, Alfred has another son, Ordgar. Or we could look at Derby here. Glenbergen, Petra. Let's see if anyone is willing to. Oh no, Accolade has. The Knight of Dignity is now unsung, losing all its effects. The impressive Marion is dead with his legacy in his new pupil's hands. Marion died under mysterious circumstances. Oh no. Let's find a good wife for Durham. Need some new blood. Alright. Is there anyone willing to marry our daughter matrimonially? So, Otgar, perhaps. Yeah. Knights of Dignity needs a worthy successor. My guest, Matthias. Should we recruit Matthias? My guest. Oh. But it requires a lot of money to recruit, and we don't have that money yet. And is a man worth that much? Oh, my daughter is Scott. And she learned her mother's language. Actually, we should employ a court tutor to help us out. All these children need our care. And our courtier here, let's put him on stewardship focus and have someone educate him. Benedicta, come on. Oh, a tournament. Finally, it's been a long time since I have a tournament. And actually, Benedicta here, I think we can employ you here. Alright, let us begin. Who is my regent? Okay, my wife. Good. Well, let's just develop our capital. It is known for the people of Rhino to seem to profess a special devotion towards the knights and their legends. My lord, the knight says, it is most fortunate that you and I came to meet at this crossroads, for I am in search of a marvelous fount of water which is said to cure all illnesses. If you were to help me with my quest, I shall pay homage to you. I don't really think that Arthur is the one to search for a fountain of water that cures all illness, but he is a really good man. Come join me, and forget about all that foolishness. Yay, he joins us. Actually, he's really brilliant. We might want to make him our newest marshal. Okay. Now, let's focus on our contest. We're not yet qualifying yet. My knights stand assembled for their day training, their attendants laden with kit. Darnath and I stand before all. Knights, what you do not know, ask humbly to be taught, urges Darnath. Together we represent the petty king. Let us together prepare for our glories. You turn to me, eyes gleaming. Command us. Okay, so watch our opponents and learn their weaknesses. We need that because we're not qualifying yet. And I want my knights to qualify as well. Do we have time to a quick visit to the temple? Well, a prayer or two helps, right? As Aubrey moves aside to let me approach, I take a solemn moment alone in the church near the tournament grounds. Pondering on the presence of God, I find myself wondering what I wish, my heart of hearts, to see come in these days of revelry. Do I want to find inner peace or bring glory? I think we're here to challenge ourselves. Alright, so I qualified, and Griffith and 2 other knights qualified. Let's check it out. Griffith, good. Who's the 2 other knights? Werner. Werner's great. Is it only Werner and Griffith? Wait, Werner and Griffith. Glory will be ours. A clear divide has been drawn between the 2 teams who stand across from each other, taunting as they prepare their equipment and whisper plans. Horses are ready in the background, with chargers whinnying and harumphing. It will be a brutal day's work. My ears prick as my name is mentioned, drifting across the gentle breeze. It could be a good sign or a bad one. Glory will be ours. I found myself that I win the contest in this tournament, but I couldn't help but consider a less fair approach for securing a prize in the melee competition. I'm sure my opponents would do the same, if only they only had the idea, who knows, maybe they already have. There's really no way to win. Arthur is a very simple man. He does his best. He doesn't really use trickery. I curve my horse after a pass at the opponent and head back into the fray. As I approach, I see a figure topple from their mount, blindsided by a blow from the opponent behind them. Unseemingly hurt, Hilgidus looks around wildly for his mount, but is long gone, spooked by the noise. I draw closer still, fixed on his plight. Seated atop of my charger, he looks so small, so defenseless. It wouldn't be honorable, so an onlooker would say, but there's little precious honor in the fray. So be it, Hayya. We shall settle this fairly on foot. I think we're brave, so we would want to settle this. Okay, I prevail in the duel. Good job. Exhausted, I stagger into the austere comforts of a refuge. All around me are competitors from both sides, armor rent and twisted, swords plunged and chipped. Squires and servants scurry around helping their charges. I spy a few of my teammates restoring themselves. They greet me warily as I slump down beside them, weary and aching. Watching from a shady position, I can see a resourceful market seller selling some readily assembled food and drink to sell to shared fighters. Werner and Amelie watch the seller with hope, while Baudouin Fox cheerfully mumbles something about a speech. Beckon over the cellar. Gather round, you lot. I'd better just leave them to it. I think we have a little gold to spend. My knights deserve this. My knights do deserve this. And actually, do we have a successor? Oh, a marshal and knight. Good. I'm glad we recruited Joffrey. Here. It's going to stress me out with spending money, but here, have a little refreshments. Refreshments invigorate all of you. The shadows loom long as the battle wears on, the fray shrinking as the contestants limp away. Wheeling my horse, I think back to what has transpired so far, such as when seeking rest. I briefly took shelter in the refuge. Events are clearly coming to a head as tight battle lines are drawn up once more. The opportunity to stamp my mark on this contest is now. I will win the soldier's victory. With me to victory. As if I draw them in here. Or maybe we should just write it out. I will win a soldier's victory. I'm brave. Come on! As stratagems go, it was hardly my finest, though I wouldn't describe our plight as disastrous. The enemy team punching through our center and began to harrow away at our unprotected camp could yet sound the death knell for our chances. It's almost impossible to call which side is closer to prevailing. There's still all to play for. I see the heralds begin to make their way to the field to signal the conclusion of the event. The end draws near. One more push. Come on. Wow. Trumpets sound and the crowds clamors. Competitors begin to assemble. The contest is over. One team's limelight is being readied. The herald steps forward, voice booming out across the scene. After many trials and some tribulations, above all else, some truly spirited competition, we have our winners. Duke Bird's team beat King Lothair in the contest. A thrilling sport even to spectate. The qualifying knights Werner and Guthred Contestants on the winning team gain $10 and a melee victor for 5 years. Let's look. Do we have a melee victor? Ah, good job. We're on the winning team. What a chaotic sport. Okay. The sun comes down the final day of the tournament and the mass crowds begin to disperse. I find myself ruminating over the results. Duke Gusbird's team carried the day in the melee. I fulfilled my goal of winning a contest. I look forward to the next one. Okay, 10 experience in horse and foot. Good job. Someone's plotting to kill my chancellor. Okay, let's go home. Joffrey needs a wife. Ragund or Burger? How about French woman? It's not the first time I catch my knight Wilfnoth fiddling around with some flowers that he'd been picking on the road. Sometimes I even hear him sighing, overlooking charges holding. My liege, he says when he notices that I've been observing him, it's not a secret that my heart has found a new home far from home. Alas, my liege, my soul aches for a married woman, and my desires know no end. Her eyes are here. I just long for just a salute. I die by a word. Please, I beg you, let me stay with her. Who am I? Oh, she is a married woman with a child. You really have no time for such juvenile infatuations. Come on. He loses 20 opinion of me. Well, it's really juvenile. Focus on your duties. At long last, I am home. Well, how are my daughters doing? Good, and she has healed. My daughter here can be educated as well. Commander. Alright, beautiful. Let me find you a good spouse as well. How about a brother? Our knights are really improving. Oh, another competition? Let's go. Come on. As we traverse the woodlands, trudging through the leaves, we encounter a modest wayward shrine, heavily carved. It sports a cross at its head, and below the weathered words, "Here lies the Saint Christina of Huis, blessed daughter of Gloucester." Saint Christina of Huis? It seems like a local spiritual figure is being patronized in this part, one not sanctioned by the Catholic clergy. Cast down this heterodoxy. Saint Christina. Nice winter. We better get going. I think we will get going. We've done this event before. I think we're not going to have the food. Tournament arrival. Can't wait for it to start. Well, we have a lot of time. Let's visit the tourney grounds. "Go, ill-fated, go faster!" I hear a man's voice echo across the grounds. I look up to see a small thing hurrying through the sky like a little black bolt of lightning. Soon enough it swoops down towards the finishing line. Bah! You must have cheated. Your bird can't fly the fast. Just look at her. She's as bright as a rain cloud, the angry loser shouts, with the winner looking smug. It's excellent entertainment. Double or nothing, or go again. I don't have time for this. I think I don't, as a diligent person, I would just find that quite silly. I think we'll just focus on the temple. The yard around the church is deserted just close to sunset. I hear the rustle around the leaves and see the silhouette of a small animal running among the tombstones. The carvings are almost gone in some of them, clearly visible in others. I take a step towards them. When my time comes, I'll make sure I've better resting place than this. I wonder if I can find one of my ancestors, or to dust I shall return. Let's see. No, I'm the first Llywarch. Turning grounds. Lively noises make me discover the improvised arena, set up by the local peasants. When two burly wrestlers are putting on a show, they trade blows, weave, duck, and circle each other until one of them makes a daring move. I call this one the Holy Knot, he screams before lifting his opponent, slamming him to the ground, making him yield immediately. Uther, the impressive and splendid, victorious yet again. Wow, look at him. Ooh, how exciting. I should study their techniques. Yeah, I should study this holy knot move. Let's just take a quick look at our lands, make sure we're not raided. Okay. Perhaps we can go to the village before the tournament starts. Come on, see the friendly Uther. Why, there's so many Uthers. A colorfully clad man shouts, carelessly balancing a candle on his nose. Also no stories. Perhaps you'd like to hear something about Cheerful, the tale when Sven became the ruler of Temple of Lindisfarne, he says while doing a handstand. Perhaps my lord would rather hear a grim story, the one where High Chieftain Synod of Leinster, Father Corper, died of old age. Cheerful tale? Or grim? I think it's a happy time. You don't always have to be so uptight. I qualified Werner and one other knight. Okay. Who else? Werner. I think it's just Werner. Okay. Glory will be ours. Come on, Werner. I think he'll do great. Yanked from my saddle by a polearm, I staggered upright, my head ringing. The perpetrators rounded on me immediately. My apologies for the rough landing, but we're not taking any chances. 3 of them, heavily armed. The aim is clear. I'm a high-value target, one that will bring great riches in ransom. As my head clears, I can make out 2 figures approaching from behind my assailant's shoulders, bedecked in my team's colors. The 3 grinning wretches have no idea as to the sudden danger, but my rescue is surely at hand should I want it. Together! Now have at them! I catch them at the unawares. The hardy shrub shivers and rustles as I push my way through it. The colchos tree is a perfect ambush spot, adjacent to the pass-through rest spot. I will not have to wait long. So what? Shambles his way along the clear path, clearly looking to take a break from the fighting. The dappled sunlight glints off his armor as the serration of leaves masks my approach through the undergrowth. Keeping my eyes on Seawold, I eventually get myself into prime position, mere 2 or so strides away from where he's about to tread. I must be swift, or I must not prevail like this. I think I'm brave, but not necessarily ambushing someone. The shadow looms long as the battle wears on. The fray shrinks as the contestants limp away. Wheeling my horse, I think back as what has transpired so far, such as when I hid myself in the trees laying ambush for unsuspecting passerby. Events are clearly coming to a head, as tight battle lines are drawn up once more, and the opportunity to stamp my mark on this contest is now. The soldier's victory? Maybe you should just ride it out. Alright, it's been really tiring. I've been really stressed out. Let's just see where this goes. Come on, me and Werner. The ploy is a stunning blow. Good! The tide shifts in my team's favor, multiple riders breaking free as we overwhelm their flank. Racing away from the opposition camp, we can only hope they reach it before the same happens to us. One more push! It's almost impossible to call which side is closest to prevailing. There's still all to play for. See the heralds make their way to field to signal the conclusion of the event. The end draws near. We got 50 glory. Come on. We did it. We won. Good job. Our second contest win. Try and sound blah blah blah. We have Petty King Arthur's team and we were the leader. We did it. We won. Well played all. Time to celebrate. I've proven my worthiness beyond doubt. Let's enjoy the ceremony and go back home. Awesome. Oh no, is someone raiding us? Are we able to defeat them? Have we lost anyone? Oh no. We were raided. Not a capital though. Okay. Now that we are back, we shall make our stand if they wish to fight us. Okay, they are leaving. We are not going to siege my capital. That has been quite stressful. Put our marshal to defending the land, right? Good. Once we upgrade this final building, we're definitely going to make sure that we build more men at arms. Someone's coming again. Stand, knights! Fight! This will be a tough battle. Our knight was wounded. Should we call in reinforcements? We can't let our capital be sieged like that. Come on. Let's go, join in. We can't lose. Come on. Oh no. Our knight died as well. Oh no. Had a gloriful life. Oh no. Actually, I can't focus on the tournament. Totally a stroll through Nessus. News is a gift from God. The tranquility of this place is suddenly and abruptly broken by furious grunts and a clattering of arms. Hark! Get me out of this metal prison. My squad took offense at my manner and even going so far to call me heartless and has abandoned me. Whatever this strange man did could not have been enough to justify being stuck forever in his army. I could, of course, have someone help him, but is it truly worth it? Come on. You are coming back with me. Oh no. Tony Grounds. I'll show you how it's done. I'm angry. They're sieging my capital. The training is embarrassing. Oh, I can't focus. Alright. We need to get back. It happens in a split second. Our blades crash thunderously. The hilt of Kegelmunder's weapon slips past, smacking off the back of my sword hand. Reeling backwards to gain some space, I clutch my hand with my free one, the sword out limply in front of me. Throbbing pain radiates up my arm as I wriggle my fingers curiously. It appears not to be heavily damaged, if it is at all. The inspection is tricky as I weave backwards to avoid a blow from the advancing Kettlemunder. He grins, clearly seeing an advantage, and sells another blow just past my flank. I can't simply dodge forever. My hand will need to be dealt with one way or another. Whatever happens, I'll not back down, of course. And I battle through gamely. I'll not back down. I'm not against these raiders. A screeching chorus of metal rings out as two blades scrape down each other's lengths, sparks glittering. As they fall into the ground, I look for advantages, thinking back when I saw an opportunity to use my other hand during the duel. The duel so close, the victor could be either one of us. We both advanced upon each other once more, we both battered and tarred. There could only be one winner. Come on, let us fight. Alright. I lose. The sonorous blow rings out as my weapon glances off a helmet. My opponent, staggering backwards to a daze, followed quickly, a swiped feint left, a hammering blow right, advance as my adversary backpedals desperately, my sword barely being deflected, with the barest of margins. Kettlemender changes tack suddenly, sensed end is near. I could barely keep up my defense against his precise blows. My energy is draining fast. I raise my arm to yield rather than prolong the inevitable. The judges have called it. I've lost. I'm wounded as well. And aggravated wounded. Oh no. This is disaster. 3 of them have been killed. Who else? Wow, so many people has died. Gertrude? My steward? Wilmed? No. Who else? Ronwin? Wow. Emma Berger and she was pregnant? Outrageous. Absolutely. Unacceptable. My knights, it would be hard for you to forget about your wives, but I'm sorry. We shall recover from this. At least they're leaving now. The new counselor. Let's fight them again. Should we? I'm so angry. They've left. Let's recover our losses. We need to work on our wins and recover. We're in debt and I am seriously injured. That won't do. The seas are thick with Dutch traders going about their usual craft, carrying rare and exotic goods from one port to another. One such merchant ship holds an item within it that immediately takes my interest. The moment I lay eyes on bejeweled scriptures, I know I could never find anything like that in Cornwall, and it simply must be mine. I have no money. Honestly, have no money. As much as I wanted. The sea is calm and forgiving today, still as a boulder and a powerful wind on the back of our boat. It seems like it'll be an easy day for rowers below, but I spot a mangled corpse of a ship buried nose first in the jagged rocks just ahead. There doesn't seem to be any survivors, and the rock would be no trivial thing to navigate. Yet I feel compelled to investigate this mysterious wreck. Alright. As I suspected, the wreckage contained no life, save for a few birds pecking away at half-eaten corpses of travelers which came up before us. Upon closer inspection, I see something in the bloody beak of a bird. It drops the object in the wreckage and flies away, leaving me to collect this intriguing object. Splendid thing. Alright. Wow. There's so many events firing. Our road takes us to a treacherous part of Lyme. When I scan for any dangers ahead, a rustling bush grabs my attention. It could be a wild animal. As I brace myself for impact, Jutwal jumps out of bush holding a plant. You scared me, Jutwal. Let me see what you have here. Some kind of fruit? Yes, it looks and smells so delicious. Wonder what it tastes like. Maybe I'll just take a bite? Alright, just eat it. I'm done. Good, have some bliss. I am really tired and in debt. I think we will stop this here. So, a brief recap of what happened in this episode, the second episode. We upgraded our buildings. So we're just waiting for this upgrade at Tintagel here with our trade port. And we have allied ourselves with Alfred the Honest now, with Alfred's son, who's turning to be a really good character. Gregarious and honest, very likable person. A young man, might I say. And we have also won 2 melee contests, and as we can see, we have gained that Hasteludder trait, and we also created our first accolade, the Knight of Dignity here. However, we have been also battling against raiders who are looking to seek advantage of our burgeoning trade ports. And unfortunately, there was this one successful raid which killed so many of our courtiers. And Arthur was so distracted in the dueling competition that he had been wounded and even had an aggravated wound. But on one happier note, Arthur has been in a really good relationship with Witchflower, and they had a second daughter which he named after her, Witchflower, who looks like their mother as well, with blonde hair and green eyes. So, 2 daughters. and now King Arthur is 33. So again, around around 8 years since our last episode. Alright, thank you for joining me in this playthrough, and hope you have a nice day.